We take for granted the time in history we're in. We're not in his story anymore, we're in her story. I just saw a documentary called Girl Rising that completely shifted my heart. And I want to share it with you, and I want to encourage you to Google Girl Rising, the documentary. It's a story of 9 girls in 9 different countries. A man did this documentary live time, and you go into their homes and into their hearts, and you see these young girls, anywhere from 9 to 16, who are either being sex slaves, who are being bought by what's called a master, who are being told they have to marry someone because it's part of their duty. And finally, their voices, they're standing up. And we as Americans, North Americans, get to watch this film and either donate, get inspired, or do just what I'm doing, tell the story. There's one story of a young girl named Wadley who lives in Haiti, and her entire village, as you can imagine, was destroyed in the storm. But she was the star pupil. And when she went back to school, once the storm was settled, they wouldn't allow her to take the class in this outside little table that was obviously just simple basics. And they said, no, you can't take the class. So she went home, got up the next morning, walked to school again, and they said, no, you can't be here. Do you have any money? No. Do anyone know you're here? No. And finally she stood up and said, no, I'm not leaving. And over time they let her stay, and she became the star pupil. And it was a statement of, here's this young girl whose will was strong enough. And how does her will get strong? Because we are making the difference in the collective. You may not think you're doing anything, but as every one of us as women start to do our own thing and feel our independence and are no longer depending on other people's finances, no longer looking for approval or have to describe ourselves by a wife, we're changing the story for the collective. So it's no longer his story, it is her story because you're here. And I want to invite you to look at the video. I want to encourage you to consider your importance. And that's why I do readings and why I do my work. I want you to know that you matter and you can make a difference right here today. Google Girl Rising.